So this is Devitor coming at you today on an ult of mine. I'm playing on my ult, Nevak, on Bonechewer realm. And as you can see, he's a DK, a pretty indestructible class. What I'm going to show you today is some pretty basic AoE grinding over in Hellfire Peninsula around the level range of 60 through about 63, 64 you can manage in here. As you can tell, it's a very viable means of doing AoE. It works quite nicely. You may be taking a lot of damage, but with the DKs you also heal yourself for a lot of damage, which is a major plus. Right here is the macro that I use for my AoE. It's a one button does all macro, which it works out very nicely because in most cases I only have to hit that one button. I would suggest here that you start out doing small pulls, typically until you start getting used to the whole AoE grinding thing. You don't want to get yourself in over your head right away. Generally, I start out with a Plague Strike. Then after Plague Strike, I do an Icy Touch on one of the mobs. Then you use Pestilence on them to transfer it to all the rest of the mobs. After that, I normally Death Strike because after you have all these diseases on them, if you Death Strike, you can actually gain back a lot of your health right away, which is quite useful. You know, oftentimes I'll find myself running a bit shy on health. After Death Strike, I hit Unholy Blight and then Blood Boil, and then I just repeat that combination over and over again. As soon as a mob dies, you can hit Corpse Explosion, which will do a lot more damage as well, which is, you know, very nice. Or if you start running low on health again, you can always do another Death Strike to try and keep yourself up and keep yourself at a decent level of health. Another problem I ran into with the AoE grinding was with the lack of range on the DKs. I needed to use Strangulate and Death Grip at times to pull mobs. You know, even though these mobs aren't casters, I use Strangulate to pull them in. You know, just something to get their aggro, to get them to come towards me that has a decent range on it. But as you can see here, after you start getting used to the DK AoE grinding, you can start pulling bigger and bigger groups. I think the biggest group that I've done was about 10 or 12, somewhere around that range. You know, I haven't been able to find mobs that were close packed enough. But this is just a simple video on how to get yourself started. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.